Hello everyone and welcome to our special series celebrating immigration heroes, inspiring journeys of immigration advisors. Today we have an inspiring guest, Natalia Cardona. Natalia is the co-founder of Mint Studies and Immigration Limited, a premium study and immigration service helping people from all over the world to study and live overseas. She has been a licensed immigration advisor since 2012, bringing over 17 years of experience in the field. Originally from Colombia, Natalia immigrated to New Zealand more than 20 years ago and has since built a successful career and a beautiful family in Auckland. As a mother of two, she has mastered the balance between professional excellence and family life. Natalia's journey from Colombia to New Zealand, her dedication to helping others achieve their dream, and her ability to juggle the demands of running a business and raising a family make her a true inspiration. Please join me in welcoming Natalia Cardona. Hello Natalia, how are you? And thank you very much for joining us today.
Thanks, Anna, for having me. It's a real privilege.
Tell me a little bit about you yourself as an immigrant. What was the motivation behind immigrating from Colombia to New Zealand? Talk about your journey.
Yes, I always wanted to be an entrepreneur back at home, and one of my friends said, just you need to go and learn English in New Zealand, which nobody will speak to you. So that was my motivation for coming here. So I came to learn the language, and then I fell in love with the country, and I decided to give it a go at finding a job and staying.
So what were the biggest cultural shocks or challenges that you faced?
Yeah, definitely the language. Obviously the grammar and the pronunciation and all of that, but also the way I communicate is completely different to people communicate in English.
Is it?
Yeah, it's we could be very direct, and that could be seen as being rude by New Zealanders.
Yes.
So I had to learn to modify the way I speak so I don't sound rude. Yeah.
You started your career as an industrial engineer, and then you transitioned, towards immigration advice. And how that happened, and what was the inspiration?
Yes, it was a very interesting process because I came to New Zealand and I fell in love with the country, and so I wanted to stay. So I had to find a job. So I found a job eventually after doing a master's degree here. I found a job as an engineer, and I started working as an engineer, and I've been successful and happy. It was a great New Zealand company, and my friends started asking me, well, how did you do it? Can you help me? So at that moment I thought, well, I have always wanted to be an entrepreneur, and I have something that I can offer to people, advice and help. I started the international student business in 2007 with a friend, and then in 2012 I decided to become licensed because we saw the need of being able to provide immigration advice legally, rather than just focusing on student pathways.
So you have 17-year experience of running this business.
Yes,
wow.
I've had two businesses, but being in the industry, yes, I have been 17 years in the industry.
You said you fell in love with New Zealand. I want to know, what is the best thing about New Zealand? Yeah, what you really like. I think your audience would like to know as well.
Well, I think coming from South America, I think the thing that was really huge to me is that I realized I could be walking on the street without being worried that somebody was going to snatch my bag or
safety.
Safety. I love people here because the New Zealanders are very genuine people and very welcoming and embracing, but also it's a melting pot. There's so many cultures in here that
you can be yourself.
Yes,
you can do whatever you want to.
Yes. I always say there's no fashion in New Zealand because you can wear whatever you want and you're fine.
how do you ensure that you're running your business and also you are giving quality time to your kids as well? How do you do it?
Yes, Anna, that's a very interesting question, because I think it's the biggest challenge I face really in my career and in my business is like exactly having that I always wanted to be an entrepreneur, but I also wanted to be a mom and have a family. So it is a very difficult act, and quite often my clients will call me and I say, look, I am happy to talk to you, but be aware there will be some little person maybe screaming in the background. But the beautiful thing is that people understand and they relate to that. Correct. And they say, yeah, no problem, it's fine. So yeah. I have had to, many instances where I've been talking to my clients with my child in my lap, or having CPD meetings with my colleagues, and my daughter pops her head in, and it's just the way it is. I think one of the biggest things that I have discovered, or I have really implemented, is that I've learned to communicate to my clients in a very similar way I communicate to my children, in the sense that if you give a child all the information at once, they get overwhelmed and they don't understand it. And it's the same with a person who is facing a complex immigration process. You have to give them the information by chunks and by stages. If you give absolutely everything at the beginning, it's just impossible for them to process.
Starting a business has its challenges, always. What were those initial challenges that you faced and how you overcame them?
One of the main challenges for me was to have the confidence to approach a client and say, I can help you. So I think the way to overcome that is to have always like a mentor, or somebody who is more experienced than you, or somebody who can teach you, and you walk hand by hand with them. So when I started the training as an immigration advisor, at the time we needed to be supervised for a year, so I had a wonderful supervisor, and she always was there, giving me advice, teaching me how to do things, and I think that was very key, and I gained a lot of knowledge but also a lot of confidence about how to do the job, really.
Thank you very much, Natalia. I find this feedback so genuine, because it's not just you. This is such a common thing, and I think most of us face this type of problem. Communication with client is one big problem, one big issue. And I really hope that this will encourage other new licensed immigration advisors who are thinking about setting up their business, and maybe this is one big hurdle for them. How do you handle setbacks in your professional life and also in your personal life?
I always go to my people who can support me and advise. Sometimes it's my husband, if I'm finding difficulty communicating with somebody, my husband is a great communicator, and I ask him, how can I express this in a good way? Or my mentors, fellow colleagues, if it's an immigration matter that I need to explore more and I haven't dealt much with it, then my colleagues. So it's basically I try to have a tight network and support system.
That's interesting, and I really like it, because that's so important. People come here and they don't think about it. People go to other countries, immigrate, they don't think about it, and that's one big thing you've got to build consciously. Support system. Yes. Either it is your friends, your colleagues, so you've got to go out and meet people and find people who can help you and support you.
Yes, and I think it's definitely, this profession is very hard to do in isolation. You have to have a good network of people who can support you.
What are the key qualities one should have to succeed as an entrepreneur and as as a business owner?
Yes, I think you need to be willing to educate yourself all the time. That's one key question I would say. Specifically in these industries, everything is changing all the time. So be willing to learn something, and maybe not just immigration matters. Also learn how to run a business properly, how to introduce technology into your business, how to so many areas that are unknown, and you don't have to do them all, but at least you know how to delegate them. And also just give yourself time to have active rest, and don't get burned out, because eventually if you work non-stop, you will burn out. I have business mentors, basically.
They are helping.
Yes, so they help me, they teach me, and they do it in a way of videos. So I pay a membership, so they have videos on how to do your marketing, how to do your sales, how to do your Facebook, how to do. And as I said, there's no way you can study it all and learn it all, but at least I can say to my team, watch this video about marketing, watch this video about Facebook, watch this other video. And so yes, it's definitely requires an investment in time, but also in money. Yeah.
So you are continuously evolving and growing, and that's how you're growing your business, scaling your business.
Yes.
So it's impacting. It's hard work. It's not just client facing, giving advice.
No.
It's hard work behind, isn't it?
Yeah. One thing is to provide immigration advice. Another thing is to run a business.
Yes,
two different things.
Correct. And you're doing both amazingly. So
you.
I want to congratulate you on it.
Thank you very much, Anna.
Is there any proud moment of your career where you felt that, oh, you have made an impact on somebody's life?
Yes, definitely, several of them. Yes, I can remember at the moment a couple of those. One was a couple, they really wanted to stay here, and he fought really hard to find a job, and he was trying to apply for a visa, and then when we submit the medical exams, he had a condition that was on the list of conditions that you will not get approved your residency. Yes. So that was devastating. So they had to go home, and he had to have medical treatment for his condition. I talked to an immigration lawyer who had a lot of expertise in the matter, and we came up with a solution. At the end of the journey, this person got the residency. He had health treatment, he got the residency, but they always say to me now, during that journey, you kept us going with hope, because we were thinking it's not going to happen. We lost all hope, but you kept saying it's possible, and you were hoping for us. So she always is very mindful of that, and to me that was a great feeling, because I knew they could do it.
They can have a better life.
Yeah, despite their discouragement, I knew they could do it. So I never lost hope. So that was a very proud moment for me.
And it's quite a setback for an immigrant, somebody who's trying to immigrate and visa decline, and for such a reason, which is, I mean, it's in itself, reason is so shocking if you learn about your health condition.
Yeah.
So there are two, it's not just one setback, there are two setbacks. Firstly, they have to go and get the treatment, and they are, obviously it's depressing in itself. And then you can't even stay in a country where you love, and you can have a better life.
Yes, it was a very challenging time for them, but very great result at the end. I have to tell you, Anna, that my clients inspire me every day. Every day, because I see them fighting for their dreams, fighting for what they want, being so resilient, and
totally.
finding. I also remember a couple during COVID.
Yeah.
We had the residence lodge, and she was the main applicant, and she had a job, a skilled job, and during COVID she was made redundant, and so we had to let immigration know, and then she had to find another job in a very short space of time in the middle of COVID. And that was so stressful. But I watch her applying for jobs and bringing her skills to the table with employers, and she managed to secure another job. And to me, that was hugely inspiring. Her resilience, her perseverance, and they hold residence today. And that was a very, very.
This is amazing, and you see how much immigrants can contribute to a society. It's amazing because they are resilient and they come and also one thing which I often talk about is lack of belongingness. Like, you go and you move to another country, different language, different culture, different people, they don't know you. You just leave everything behind and then you survive, and some people also thrive, and that's extraordinary. It's not, you've got to have something really big in you to resist.
Yes. I also tell my clients the biggest challenge, which is one of the ones I face as well, is finding your first job. Once you have your first job, your employer is not going to let you go because they will realize how much you bring to them, and that is true 80% of the time.
And I very strongly believe that language, or these are the things that people worry about. I think these are minor things. How I dress up, language and other type of stuff, because you are so right. When you hire an immigrant, and then you will see the impact they are going to create, the hard work they are going to put in, they are going to shine out no matter what task. If you have to give one advice to your younger self, what it would be?
Oh, Anna, I think I would say, don't worry about what other people think of you. Don't worry about, as women, we sometimes worry too much about other women, what they think of us. But bringing it more into business life it's okay to make mistakes, and it's okay to do things and see what the result is, but you don't regret what you did, you regret what you didn't do.
Even if you're not doing everything perfectly fine, but you're still making an effort. I think it's pretty much same thing. You just keep doing and don't worry about the world. Is there any funny incident that happened in your career?
There is nothing funny about dealing with immigration, I have to say. It's always heavy. Yes, I cannot recall any funny instances, interactions with an immigration officer, but many with clients. And I think one of them is this family arrived with a 4-year-old child. So I thought, I'm gonna show them the real Kiwi experience. So I'm gonna take them to Mission Bay and invite them for fish and chips. So I took them there, we bought fish and chips, we sat outside, and then we started looking at the beautiful beach. And then a big bird came and stole his fish. And then the next week they were posting in Facebook saying, "Oh, we got robbed on the first week we came to New Zealand." And people were like, what? It's like, yeah, a single stole my son's fish. So, yeah, that was quite funny. So we always make the effort to connect with the people we bring and to help them settle and answer all their questions, especially in those first 2 weeks when they arrive. They are lost and everything is different and old habits are upside down. So yeah, it's something we do often with our customers.
So you guys also are helping them in settling down, and
yes.
A little bit you show around the...
Yeah, show them around and teach them how to catch the bus, and yeah, just practical daily things that they need to
Wow,
know.
so you're actually going one step ahead in helping them.
Yes.
It's not just the visa thing, it's just...
No, and I have to say, we've had people that we brought. I remember one person, I brought him with zero English. Like, we did his first student visa, and he went to study in Christchurch, and he used to bike in the middle of winter. He was so resilient. But he spoke no English, and then we were with him all the journey until he got residency. So it was like a 3-4 year journey, and we were
Helping
coaching
them
him, all the way. And
isn't it fulfilling for you?
It is amazingly
Yeah.
fulfilling, and the beautiful thing is that I have to say today, my network, my support group, are mainly my clients who have become my friends. So some of them work with me in my team, and some of them is they're part of this little community that enabled me to be a mom, a businesswoman, because see this family who got the fish taken. They are now one of my closest friends, and say she looks after my kids sometimes when I need to work, and it's a tight community. So my clients have become my friends, and it's so fulfilling, and it has enriched my life so much.
This question is for women who are thinking about starting a family while running a business. What advice do you have for them?
I think is doing several things. One of them is definitely, first of everything, is just make sure you have a support. Like in New Zealand, when you're an immigrant, your friends become your family. So make sure you have friends around you that support you, and you support them. So create a community. That is essential. Without a community around you, you cannot do it. And then second is just follow what's in your heart. If it's in your heart to have children and also have a business, leave the guilt aside, because we tend to feel guilty because I'm not a good mom and I'm not a good business person, and you're always giving something up. But if your call is to, if you feel called to be a business woman, do it. Do it for your kids. Don't use them as an excuse. They are your purpose for providing a better future for them. So use your business as a tool, and don't give up on what your core feeling is. And I think for children, quality of time is more important than quantity of time.
What advice do you have for other immigrants, people who are thinking about immigrating to New Zealand and they are looking for a good advisor?
They have to find somebody who they have empathy with. Is very important, because they will be confiding a lot of their personal information. Sometimes as advisors we have to ask questions that are too personal and makes people feel vulnerable. So somebody who they feel empathy and who they feel they can trust. And I think it's also somebody who would put your needs as a client before their needs as a business owner, which not everybody does. For example, sometimes we get a student who faces 3 or 4 different choices of a school, and for us, we always have very clear that we put them in the school that is better for the client, not the school that is better for us as a company, but what suits them better for their needs, for their dreams, for their objectives in the future. So yeah, make sure that they are looking after your best interest.
That's a wonderful advice. Thank you very much, Natalia, and thank you for your time today.
Thanks,
I genuinely enjoyed speaking to you, knowing you, your ideas. You yourself is so resilient, and I think you are a superwoman doing so many things together and winning in all aspects of your life and your career. This is amazing, and I'm sure so many people will be watching it, and this is inspiring for all of us. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Anna, for having me.